Jail is not as bad as you might think. When I say jail, I don't mean prison. Prison is the kind of place you see with guard towers and razor wire. Prison is where they hit the bars with metal spoons. But jail was not like that a bit. It was 2 small rooms together, no bigger than my old attic bedroom. An Andy Griffith kind of jail. The slammer, the joint, the can, I thought to myself. The big house. But overlaying them all was another thought entirely. I am alone. No matter what the police and the district attorney said, no matter what the people wrote, no matter what the people believed then and still believe now, I did not kill my mother. They say you never know what you have until it's gone. This proverb rings true for Ellen as she is forced to watch her mother die from cancer in the book One True Thing by Anna Quindlen. I remember the last completely normal day we ever had in our lives. The day we went to the Tasty Freeze, rolled in the grass, cooked and ate some hamburgers, watched a little bit of television. And then, the next morning my father came downstairs, told me to sit down, and said straight out that my mother had cancer. He said she would need someone to take her to the hospital for the chemotherapy treatments. So, I quit my job, sublet my apartment, and came back to Langhorne on a Tuesday morning. As I opened the door that Tuesday morning, the house was empty. And when I turned, she was there. She smelled of bath powder and something a bit more chemical too. And when I squeezed her, I thought I felt her wince. I told her that I was home for a while and that I could sit with her while she had her chemotherapy. I could take care of the house and of some of the things the doctor said she wouldn't be able to do until she was feeling better. And she just turned to me and she said, "Don't talk about it as though I had the flu." She looked off for a moment and then said, "We need a project. Something the 2 of us can do together." So that's when we started what my mother liked to call the Goulden Girls Book Group. Those books gave shape to our days those first few months. We always took them with us when we went to the hospital to wait. And my mother often read while she was lying on the recliner as the chemicals dripped slowly into her body. It took a whole day to get it all in. They tried to make the chemo cubicle pretty with flowered wallpaper, and even the chemicals were decorative in their crystallized bags. It all went in, drop by drop by drop. By God, please let it work. Drop. I prayed in the cubicle and in the hallway where I went to shake off the feeling of being buried alive. The doctors said the cancer was progressing far more quickly than anyone had expected. So she was given morphine pills. That last afternoon, I gave her cream of tomato soup, but after only 3 spoonfuls, she just shook her head. She said, "Why can't I just die and be done with it? It is a crime for a human being to have to live like this. This is not living. A pill. I need another pill. Ellen, please help me. I don't want to live like this anymore. You're so smart. You'll know what to do." So I took her hand in mine and began to breathe in tandem with her. In, out, In, out. In, out. In, and her life just slipped away. Her hand was cold when I finally laid it on the sheet. And when I looked at her face, there was nothing of her. At the funeral, Dr. Cohn said, "I don't know whether to say this or not, but the pathologist found something wrong during the autopsy. They found that the cause of death was an overdose of the morphine. Before I really even understood what was going on, the police were at my door, and they arrested me and charged me with killing my own mother. I was photographed, fingerprinted, and led down the long hallway to my cell. I closed my eyes, expecting to hear a voice in my ear. A cry for help, a cup of tea, a glass of water, a sandwich, more morphine. But no one spoke. No one needed me any longer. And I felt peaceful. The day of the trial, the prosecutor was parading up and down the aisle, glaring at me. "Miss Golden, did you know what constituted an overdose of your mother's morphine tablets?" "Yes." "And did you give her a fatal overdose of morphine?" "No." "Could you have done it if you wanted to, Miss Golden?" "Yes, but I didn't." She was wearing diapers. And for a woman like that, who was so capable and so full of life and so lively and so smart, it was a terrible thing. It was terrible for her, and it was terrible for me. Miss Golden, I have one last question. Did you love your mother? When someone asks you where you come from, you say your mother. When you lose your mother, you lose your past. Yes, I did love my mother. I just didn't know how much until she was gone. Did you kill her, Miss Golden? No, I didn't. I couldn't. But after seeing her like that, I only wish I had.